Morning guys, it's Dave. We're in StageCast again. But you notice? No more evaluation version. We're going to be using the real version, the full version, the buy version, the $30 version. Hint, hint, hint. Go out and get it. All right, enough free advertising for them. Today I want to start a game that is more up my alley. If you've been watching my last couple videos, you've noticed that we were doing a fast action game. Of which I am not the greatest at. So let's slow things down a bit and get into more of a thinking game. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to create a sim. And I'm going to do the whole series of things that I like to do. I'm recording this video on a widescreen laptop. And that gives me a lot of extra room. So I'm just going to set myself up here. See that? Okay, I have lots of room out here to put extra rule windows. Lots of room down here that I can put windows like these. Okay, and we're going to be able to go and do some pretty wild stuff. Well, there's a game that I had written maybe a couple of years ago. I called it Framed. And it was actually pretty wild. And back then, I didn't know as much about this software as I did now. So I think this time around, I would love to make a new version of that game. I don't want to call it Frame 2, but I was thinking more like maybe Framed Square. Excuse me. And you'll see what I was talking about in a second. But I think to get us started, we're just going to use this stage to kind of play around with the game engine a little bit before we start putting it really together. So I'm just bringing out two characters to get us started. Let's start with the second character. The second character is going to be pretty easy. So for now, I'm just going to create a little black, actually, it might be easier if I do this, a little black dot. 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, oops, 5. Then now that I know the sizing, I can fill it in this way. Okay, I just need a little dot, and then we can position it kind of centered. Okay, and we're just going to call it dot. Okay, there it is. And we will need a couple of these. Okay, and we'll just leave those there for now. Actually, let's give it some color because I want to make this one black. Let's call it blue. There we go. All right, so now we're going to create this one. Now this character is a big character, so we need to come out, let me think about this. Yeah, okay, it doesn't need to be this wide, but almost this wide. I want to go to the outline rectangle, and we got to run a test here. Oh, that might, let's try this one. Oh, this one will be better. I want to make a rectangle, or actually a square, that I hope, no, so I want it to get as close as possible. I want it to be in the corners, basically what I'm trying to say. There we go. And I want to come 3 across, 3 down, okay? So, just like that. You see that? Okay, then notice that while I was goofing around, the anchor square moved. And you can put this anchor wherever you want to, but I like it in the upper left-hand corner of the screen. This anchor is the position that the little character will exist in all of your rules. So, you know, if you say, I want to put this here, all right, you know, you double click on it so you can see its rules. When you come in here to its little local variables, this horizontal and vertical position is the square that your anchor is in, you see. So if you're making rules where you're going to position your character, keep that in mind. It's wherever that anchor square is, okay? All right, we're almost done with this one. Now, what I want to do now is go into the solid rectangle, and I'm going to pull out that transparent color, because now what I need to do is knock out the middle of each of these. And I think I could probably do a little better over here. There we go. See how this is gray? That's because there are no pixels of color in here. We want to do the same thing, okay? And I'm just starting out here in the middle, dragging in, and then I can kind of better eyeball it. And I want to knock out the middle. See that? And we're going to do this all the way around so that when we're done, now see, it stayed white. And that's because over here, see, I missed a little. So I'm going to shave it off. There you go. The actual play character, the one you control, is going to be this guy. And this is actually a puzzle game that I have never seen. So I think, honestly, I can say that this particular game is all mine. Okay, I didn't borrow it from anybody or anything. Okay. Okay, so we're going to call this guy Frame. All right. So this is you, and eventually these are going to be part of the play screen. Okay. Well, basically, if I stretch these out a little bit, the game itself is like a lot of really cool games. Very easy to play, just very hard to master. So really what's going on in this game is you're this frame, and you can move left, right, up, and down with the arrow keys. But when it comes to these things, you can only move if you can make it so that that little dot goes through your frame, like that, or like that, or like this. See that? Okay. All right, that seems pretty easy. But here's the kick. If you're moving along and that was to happen, all right, because it would allow that. It's going to allow that, okay? The game is over. You've just locked yourself and you've just been framed. And you have to restart the game, you see? So the goal is going to be to start in a particular position on the screen and end up at a particular dot. And you'll see that we go a little nuts with that a little later on. Okay? So again, we're going to work on a little bit of programming today with the game engine, all right? And then we'll toy around with other things, all right? So if you consider the options that we have here, okay, this character must be able to move around in all positions, all right? In order for this character to move, period, this square, this square, this square, and this square must not be occupied by anything else but the three along here, and these three should allow movement, okay? So let's just pull this guy over here, and we're going to try a rule, okay? So again, there's nothing else out here except for the frame, all right? All right, so here's our spotlight. We've seen that. Now, before I go to the window, I want to span it out to here, okay? All right, now if we bring the rule window in, let's give it a name, slide right, okay? I'll go to the left-hand side. So I said a second ago, in order for this guy to move, there should not be anything else here, 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 or here, okay? But through here, and then in this case, over here, we don't care. So we're going to grab this do not care, and we're going to do a little work with this character. Okay? And we want to make just these squares. You see that? Kind of weird. But be careful. The 4 that have the corners of our frame, all right, do not put the do not care. Okay? All right, for now we're going to leave this in. We may or may not change that later. We're going to say arrow keys only. All right, so when the right arrow key is pressed, all we want to do, and I'm not even going to open this, we're just going to slide it 1 to the right. Okay? All right, so we're going to do the same thing with the other directions. And again, notice it doesn't matter the order in which you put the rule together. Okay? You see that? All right, we'll do another one. Up. This time I'll do the arrow key first, then the up, then the do not care. Again, order in which you put the rule together most of the time, all right? Doesn't matter. And I think I forgot to name that one rule. So this is what? Slide up. So before we do our last rule, let's go back here. Yeah, I did. We are sliding to the left. So this is slide left. Okay. And what are we missing now? Up, left, right. So we want down. 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 Give it a name. Slide down. Only when the down arrow key is pressed. And again, only those. Okay? All right, so now let's give this a shot. I can go down, I can go up, I can go left, I can go right. And I should be able to come right through here. That worked. I should be able to go straight up. That worked. But if I was to come over here, see, that worked. Now let's see if it catches. Aha, you see? Sorry. You lose. Okay, stop. Pardon me, guys. First thing in the morning. Gotta get my coughs out. Alright, so what else can we do? Do a little bit of house cleaning as we get moving here. We're going to say, come on, get in there. There it is. General movement. I'm an up, down, left, right type of guy. So I'm going to go right, left, down, up. It's just the way I tend to code. Up, down, left, right. I like to do things in that order. That way I don't forget to do things later on. Okay? All right, so we'll close this. And for now, we'll even close that. All right, time to save. Save the sim. And we are going into our StageCast. Now, I've got a ton of stuff in here, so I'm going to do some house cleaning before I do my next video. And we're going to call this framed, and for file name usage, we'll just do it that way, frame 2. Okay? All right, well, look at that. That is the game in a nutshell. All right, you can move, you can move, you can move, you can move. Sorry, you're out of luck. Okay? Again, seems very easy, but when it comes down to an actual play, not easy at all. Okay? So what we're going to do, and hold on a sec. Oh, yeah. Now we can spend a little more time juicing this out. I want to create, actually we're going to clear this. I want to create some letters. And again, for now, I'm just going to stay with black. We need to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I want to say I want an E. All right. Is that? Yeah, that's pretty good. How big is that? Yeah. All right, let's go a little bit. You know what? Let's do it this way. Let's try a font. Yeah, how big is size? Oh, wow. How big is that? Oh, okay, that'll work. Okay. Yeah, I think that'll work. Let's try another one. I need to see what it looks like. Oh, I don't like how that looks. Let's chisel out that a little bit. Oh yeah, much nicer. Okay. And then we're going to have a third one, and actually a fourth one. Okay. All right, so now we're going back to E. So now we're just going to flesh this out and make it look good here. I need to do some sizing here. I just need a color that I can get rid of later. Actually, let's do the line. It might be easier. Okay. So what do we got here? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Actually, let's do this. You move out of the way over to here. Let's do that line again, and we're going to make it go all the way across and all the way across. Okay. Then we are going to move this guy completely in the middle, kind of like that. And then we are going to go to a green. Yeah, let's try a green. And maybe, how's that? I make it touch all those. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So I think it's more got to be. Oh no. Wait a minute. Nope. I think that was right. Just like that. I think so. Okay. You know what? I think I'm taking the wrong way to do this. All right, let's do this. If you hold the Shift key down while you're in the rectangle tool, it'll make sure that you only do a square, and that's kind of cool. All right, how big is this? Well, let's see what the letters look like. E. Okay, all right, that would work. What if I went? Oh, come on. Now that'll work. Okay. I want to eyeball these things so that it's not too big. Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad. Okay. And then the last thing I want to do is just put this guy in the middle. And again, I'm kind of eyeballing it. Sometimes I wish, just like we have a grid out here, I wish there was a grid in here. Okay. That looks good. And then what I'm going to do here, I don't know what all is. Let me try that. Control A. Click out here. Oh yeah, Control A. Control A is select all. You see how, let me try this again so you see it. Normally when you come into the editor, it's got a red border. You see that? If you do Control A, notice it turns blue. Then a Control C would copy it. And then I want to come over here and Control V and clear it. You have to keep clicking in here to make sure that it knows you're talking about this guy. And clear it again. There we go. Okay. Let's see, this guy, we need to pick up the green, get rid of the E. This time we want to go back to the black, and we are going to put, oops, not, that was dumb. Try that again. I went Control S. Okay, yeah, but that's not right. A little higher. All right, that'll work. I'll go back here. I want to erase a little bit. We'll get rid of that one and that one. And of course it's not centered, so we'll move it over a little bit. That actually might be perfect. And then these two, we're just going to get rid of the letters. Okay, this one we want to come back to that blue I was talking about. And I just want to see what the shading looks like. Yeah, that's good. And this one we want to be kind of a pink. Oops. Yeah. Okay. This is kind of backwards, but this is the start. This is the end. Okay. This is hard. This is easy. Okay. And you'll find out what I mean by all these in a minute. So basically, when you're making one of these levels, you're going to have one of these somewhere. You're going to have one of these somewhere. And you're going to have a bunch of these. Okay. So let's say this guy happened to be up here. And your frame happened to be up here. And let's say this guy is down here. And then spread out on the screen, you would have a bunch of these. And I mean a bunch, not just 3. And you would have to move your way through all of those and get to right here. Okay? And that's how you would play the game. All right, so I'm going to save that again. How are we doing on time? 22 minutes. Okay. Let's see what else we could do. We got about 8 more minutes. Well, okay, you saw me create an alternate version of this for easy. Okay. Basically, in framed 1, I had created the ability to have it so that you could either be playing in hard mode, which actually looks like that. Okay, and let's actually, all right, this is not a real level, so it's not going to be solvable. But I mean, let's say you had these guys all over the place. This might be what one of these levels looks like. All right, and we'll talk about level creation in a future video, but just to give us an idea, and we'll delete some of these extras. Delete, delete, delete. You see, so now you would have to try to figure out how to do this. So, like if you look at this one, like we'll actually play it. Look, I can't go to the right, or else I would lose. You see that? And watch, even if I came one to the right, if I would go down, I'd lose, because my start would get caught. So I would have to come down here. See? Then I could do something weird, like I could do this. See that? And then come down like that. And then watch, I could do down, over, down, down, down. See? Like that. And then come all the way over. And I would win the game. You see? Okay. Well, on some levels you're going to make, that could be really hard. Okay. So I have an easy mode, and it's toggleable. So if you go into easy mode, it does a couple things. It turns the grid back on, and then it turns certain dots to easy. You see that? So that helps you to determine, you know, how far can you move before you would lose. And the pink dots are some of the dots that you have to go through. Not all the dots. I don't want to go super easy. But it would let you know you can't skip this dot. Somehow you have to do these dots, you see? Or else you can't get down here and you can't win. You see that? And that's how that's going to work. Okay? So we're going to turn off the grid. We're going to put these back to hard. All right? So maybe in the couple minutes we have left, let's take a look at global. We'll stretch it out. And we can start creating the variables we're going to need. So I'm going to bring out at least 3 for now. The first variable is turns. Okay. The second variable is say mode. Mode, would that be good? I think so. Mode. And let's put this guy up here. And the third variable is what we call it. This would be the best goal. How could we use this? Let's call it goal. Okay. All right. Turns is how many moves, right? How many turns did it take you to get from start to exit or end? So at the start of the game, you have 0. Okay. Mode is simply hard or easy. Right. Goal would be a number for the best game. So let's say I put a 12 in here. That would mean I know how to move the frame from here to here in 12 moves. Can you do it in 12 moves or 12 moves? And it gives the person something to strive for. All right. Now I did say this was frame 2, or what I'm going to call frame squared. So I am actually going to have a couple more variables that my first game didn't have. And we're going to talk about those, I believe, yeah, in our next video. Okay, so this is the start of a new game. This is going to be a slower moving game a little bit. There's going to be an element of time involved, and you'll see what I'm talking about later. But we got a great start. We got a great start on our graphics. You know, it's pretty simple graphics. I'm not an artist, as you noticed before, but we're going to see if we can have some fun with this guy. All right? Okay, my name is Dave. We're in StageCast, and I hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.